This, I think, is a truck for some reason, and I'll try and find out why. I imagine it's hard when you see all this kind of mess here. It's hard to find front from back and all that kind of thing, and even side to side sometimes. Right, put a mud guard with some sort of little support on there, and another one there. So there's got to be more mud guards. They could be two fronts. This is out of this the 30s, I'd imagine. We've got that style of bucket headlight, which was probably, you know, on the top of the mudguard, something like that. I don't know if it was as old to be on the side of the grill, but there's a lovely colour. That's a tealy blue colour there. I'll just put that like that, so the colour will remain a bit longer. These parts here, these are like on the side of the engine. The bonnet, I think, would sort of close down, or unless these are the kind of, whatever they call the bonnet, that sort of, not concertina, but it does sort of fold up onto itself. There's the other side. See, this bit here reminds me of the back of inside of a ute or a little truck, that flat part, to give you more room in the back. The door, that would have to be a driver's front. Well, I say have to be, don't I? But I'm guessing that's a driver's front. I have to be careful where I stand here. There's the roof. It's been oxy cut. I imagine whoever dumped this was, you just cut the car into smaller pieces and then bring it along and throw it down the hill into a gully, and that's the place where it's going to be the best hidden spot for old cars like this. We've got this, I've been looking at pictures of old trucks and old cars, just to try and get a bit of a reminder of what I'm looking at when I see these old things. So he's got the flat dash, a two-piece front windscreen, and the fresh air vent, as most of them do, and just a couple of nice little switches. There's not a lot else, and this one in here reminds me of a switch, an off-on switch of some sort, and they're brass. There's a little piece down there, I think I just showed it there before. It's like a grill centerpiece, and it reminds me of a Dodge Fargo, but still, I really don't know. I'm not going to upset this anymore. I don't think it's going to really help me. But there's a rear mudguard over there that's attached to that flattened bit. So that'll be a right-hand rear guard, right-hand front door. But I'm still not putting it together. I still don't know what this is. As curious as I get about these things, I just have to give in and accept that unless I do even more research, I'll not know what this is. But it's, look, we had a lot of Chevs, we had a lot of Dodges, and a lot of Fords. This is a bigger car. It's not a British car. But then, you know, we did have Bedfords, didn't we? So that's another, like the Bedford up near the track there, near the bike tracks. There's a Bedford that gets photographed a real lot. It's a TA Bedford from around 1955. All right, I guess that's the first one out of the way. I can't identify it. I don't know what it is. There's a bit more. There's a bit of glass, but I think that's not automotive. Yeah, I don't want to dig it all up. See this grill part here? I just have to get some good close-up photos on the net, on the laptop, some nice big pictures to see what that is. I'll leave this here. I'll take this up here, but all right. So there's yeah, there's the centerpiece. It's got red, but nothing else to say. An old crank starter. All right, I'll cut across here. There's a bit of an animal track here, and then we'll get up into these others. Ah, look at these babies. Oh, these poor old unwanted dumped cars. Worth absolutely nothing in their time. Something just grabbed me, and it was, I don't know what that was. A little thorn grabbed me. I'm looking for critters. All right. This is quite steep. Try not to exaggerate that, but this is a pretty steep area. That's a little hydraulic thing, right? That could be brakes. This is a braided earth strap. And this is an Austin, and I'll hazard a guess and say it's an A40. I usually go with the most common. I'd say this is an Austin A40 Devon from around 1950. I got my stick today, a little bit of extra support. Here's a pushy, a very rusty pushy. And this here is so funny that it's got some kind of repair. But I think that could be brazing, it's all green. Very unusual that you had to fix your old bike. Now they're littered all around the place. Bikes aren't worth anything anymore. Well, cheap ones, there's so many cheap ones. All right, there's your Austin A40. All right, I'll keep going uphill, up into here, up into this ute. There's a very interesting part here that I haven't been able to find any more information. I couldn't even find a picture even close to what I'm about to show you. There it is, the Austin. There's the old chassis with the X frame. Here's a door. The bottom of this door is like a Chev door here. I think it could be part of the upside down Chev that's up there. It's funny, it's a similar color, like this greeny blue, this teal was the same as that one over there. So I don't really know for sure. Yeah, it's a bit of a slog up through here, but I'm at the main part, and then it's not far out over the top there. This part here is really interesting to me. Now, if you imagine a mudguard, like a pontoon mudguard on both sides, and these little clips are on here. There's a few more. There's some snaps. They go all the way around there. So you got the snaps, and then you got these little peg kind of ones. That would be for a tonneau cover. This here, see now there's no boot lid, but there's this opening, and I'm imagining that's your spare wheel opening. And that's a big piece. So I imagine this could be like a full-size car, but again, stumped completely. Have not found anything to give me any more clues on this. There's tiny pinholes here, and that's possibly where maybe a number plate frame and some chrome bits there. I don't know. But then, you know, they did have a few bigger British cars too, like the big, really big Austins and things like that. So, yeah, if it's not American, it's yeah, I don't know. Could be British. I'm open for anything because I really don't know. All right, what we got? A bit of glass. There's nothing here that's really old. There's like these old poison bottles there. They're not very old at all. Somebody has been here scratching around. It wasn't me. There was somebody here who's pulled some of this stuff out here. So I'm not the only one who knows about these cars. Now this ute is definitely a Chev. I've seen photos and I've even seen right down to these strengthening pressings in the back here. This one's had a makeshift floor put in there. It's got some kind of sealer there. Got a homemade pipe bumper that goes all the way around to there. A couple little clips. So yeah, this yeah, if you look at the roof, you can see how that roof is just bashed in like that. I'd imagine this was just tumbled, rolled from the top. So let's see some of the details on the Chev. See, there's, oh gee, there's something under there. I don't know if I want to lift that out. Could be a door panel. And it doesn't have to necessarily be all the same car. There could be bits of other cars here as well. So there's the Chev giveaway, the fuel filler there, that mud guard, and this huge area on the front here. I've seen details to show this is the Chev, and it's late 30s. There's a couple of small details I wanted to show you. Just like this radio plate here, let me get this out of the way. Yeah, those details there where the radio was, so it did look like it had a radio. And if you can see there, it's even got an internal door handle right up there on the edge. I've never really noticed that before, but they have the door opening handle right up there. Oh, it's got some old sound deadening, that old tar kind of stuff, that fibrous tar. All right, nothing else. Oh, yeah, fresh air vent and the lever, and yeah, and that handbrake way up in the corner. If you can see it, that's that shepherd's crook handbrake. I'll get up to the front. I'll get up to the front without hitting my knees. Now this part here, I just think that's a bit odd, this piece that comes around here. I've not really noticed, oops, maybe I should point at what I'm trying to show. Yeah, this part here just seems a bit different when I look at pictures of old Chevs. You know, unless it's an Australian, you know, feature, or I even thought Pontiac, but then did they make a Pontiac ute? I don't know. And this here, that bracket reminds me of your coil, your ignition coil, where that would go on the firewall. But from all the straight six Chev pictures I've seen, it's on the engine. Your coil is on the engine block. All right. Over here, I'll get around. I'll go to the bottom side. That's a bit too much to get to. There's a jar, not very old. Now I'm walking on bits of tin. I think there's other stuff, but yeah, I'm just, you know, there's no need to upset everything. Yeah, that piece, that thing, I don't know. It's a convertible without a boot, but Alright. Not much more to that Chevy ute. Probably even less to this one up here, which I think, oh, be careful now, which I think is a sedan. There's some spiky things up here as well as lantana. Lantana's nothing compared to those spiky, spiny. Yeah, you won't see it there, but there's some real spiky things. Now this thing is facing nose down. Big chassis there, like front cross member. Yeah, just linkages and stuff. And I think this is a Chev as well because it's got, well, that's interesting. That roof is moved. Maybe someone's been in here more recently. Yeah, the shape of the bottom of these doors, I suppose, is pretty common with most cars in the 30s, but Chev Ute, possibly 37, 38. And this one, okay, we're still on this one. It's fuel tank, rear mud guard. It's got the fuel filler on the driver's side. The ute is on the passenger side. And there's only a slight detail across the back there. This here reminds me of a Dodge as well, but pretty sure it's a Chev. Okay, that's it for today. There are your Chevs. Down in there is the Austin and that other piece of convertible. I don't know what it is. It's got no boot lid, but it does have a spare door opening. So I am unfamiliar with that. And up that gully, just up over in there, there's that truck, or a small truck, you know, like maybe a 3/4 ton thing from the 30s, and I don't know what that is either. So if you like this kind of thing, stick around, and I've got more videos like this to come. So I'll see you soon. Cheers.